Welcome to Lanmou Spirituals. This is a general career reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for March 2020, and we already have cards pulling out for you, Sagittarius. Let me tell you, these cards have been making the rounds. Okay. Oh, we have a flipper too. These cards have been making the rounds. This the Seven of Horses and Two of Scrolls is not my first time seeing them today. Um, we are using the Akashic Tarot for this reading, and let's look at the bottom of the deck here. What do we have? We have the Five of Keys, which is fulfilled. Which is fulfilled. This is a beautiful home, like of so much warmth. I love this card, right? We don't see anyone in this deck. I mean, on this card. Let's say it's a family of two that must be busy in the other room. Like there's light of fresh groceries, fresh produce right there on the table, on the kitchen table. The windows are open. The skies look blue outside. It's just like such a beautiful romantic scenery, like up in the cabin in the mountains. You can see down below, and it's so inviting. So for some of you here, whatever you have been this message, we're asking, what do you need to know, okay, for this line of reading for every sign. So whatever it is that what do you need to know, just know what's facing you right now is your wishes are fulfilled. Whatever it is that, or where your wishes, they are fulfilled, especially if it has to do with your home life, okay, bringing your family together, bringing your loved one together, creating a space that is inviting, that is loving, that is comforting, okay, for your family. That wish, it will be it has been fulfilled, okay, for you during this time. The world may be in shambles, a lot of things is going on. Sagittarius, spirit is telling you, have no worry, okay. And look at this, there's such a synchronicity in these two cards here, okay. We have the word two worlds, your first card that came out, Two of Scrolls, and we can see her looking at the fire here inside in her home, pensive looking, and it looks almost like it's night, it's dark inside that room. But if you look through the window, if you peek through the window, you see it's daytime. There's a sense here, there's a market being displayed, and there are people and there are flags, right? It's again, it seems like it's in the mountains here as well, okay. So I feel like the home environment, the home space is so important during this time. And I feel so many of us are confined in our home. So we might as well make it comfy as it can be if it wasn't before. If you've been neglecting cleaning and doing certain tasks, this may be a good time to catch up on those. Excuse me. Sagittarius, if you hear the sound going, I had to stand up here and pick up something. But yes, so we are like at home, we are creating comfort, we are enjoying a family time, okay. For some of you, it might have been a while since you've done that, since you've had to be in that to do that. Some people feel like they're stuck. For some of you Sagittarius, you may be relishing it, you may be thriving during this time. You may be realizing we should do that more often, right? The weekends where you're trying to run your chores, and you know, everyone has their activities, the kids have their activities, you're trying to catch up from things from the week because you leave the house early, you come back late just in time to eat dinner together and prepare for bed. So like, this is the first time for some of you, especially those of you who don't take vacation regularly, that you are being pushed to spend very much so quality time together. That's what I'm getting here for some of you Sagittarius. And then there's a sense as well with like that two world cards, as in the person you're inside, or the personal, your personal life and your public life, almost like meeting, or there's a chasm between the two, right? Those two worlds. It's either that they are in synchronicity, or there are it's either that they are working, gelling well together. Like, you know, some people, like the work that you do, it represents you as a person, the person who you are in your own personal life. Or they're not, like there's a kind of like a resistance, right? There's a pull and push and pull between the two, as in like there is a, the word is not coming out, Sagittarius. During this time, some of you, it's kind of like, it's kind of like when you're home, in the comfort of your home, you may feel, you may be a little bit, you may feel such a sense of peace and comfort, It's like you don't have to express yourself and explain yourself all the time. Some of you may be at a job where there's a lot that's required of you, okay? And it requires you to be very aggressive. It requires a certain personality, and you have to play the part. And then you get to your home, you get to your comfortable place, you get to where you know you are loved, that you will not be judged, or you don't have to play a part, where you can just be. You can be pensive, you can be, you can stand there and look at the fire, you can just relax, okay? Like the two worlds that you inhabit. And I feel like, especially for those of you that are working at home during this time, you're realizing that I need to merge them a little bit more. The gap is too far apart. Okay, you're realizing, like, perhaps some of you have to be on the phone, and your partner, your kids are hearing you or in work mode, and it almost makes you a little bit anxious because there's such a big difference, right? And you're realizing it, like, okay, I need to bridge that gap a little bit. Okay, there's two worlds: who I am, my principles, the face that I show at work to the public. I need to make sure it's in alignment with my own personal values as to who I am, the kind of person I want to be. Okay, and it's not to say one or the other is negative, but there's a sense here, there's a kind of a resistance, okay, that's trying to, especially the way you turn your back here to that to that window, and almost like, okay, I'm closing it in. You're closing in within yourself. You're not in a receptive mode right now. The arms are crossed behind, arms crossed behind. It's kind of like stand back, kind of like I'm in resting pose, okay, and looking into the fire, looking into the fire. So for some of you Sagittarius, yes, you are very much like taking this time. You are reflecting on your life. You are reflecting on your own personal decisions. The two of schools talk about decision choices, right? The decisions that you make in your everyday life, are they in alignment with who you are? Okay, are you proud of the person that you do? Are you proud of the work that you do? And a lot of us are being called to look at our own overconsumption, our own ego, our own, sense of hypocrisy. As in, we say we hold certain virtues, we say we live by certain principles, like, like in regards to fairness and justice, and like everyone should be able to live a fair and decent life, especially if you're out there, you're trying, you're working, right? And understanding that the world does not give everyone a fair shake, and perhaps it will never be. But at the same time, every single one of us, we have a choice to make every single day. Do we make decisions that bring it closer to that ideal, to our ideals, to our values? Are we making those decisions? Are we going about our own personal life every day, trying to bridge that gap? Or are we making things worse? Are we keeping up to par? Are we supporting the status quo that we are saying that is not the ideal, that is not our value, right? So we are all are being a little bit more introspective, and we were called to do so since last year. I remember Virgo season, the readings that I was doing then, very much so that message was coming through. A time for us to reflect, to introspect, to look like our daily life, how we spend our money, how we spend our time, how we spend our resources. Are those things reflecting? Are those things reflecting our values, our higher selves? Okay, and we've been on, like, step by step by step, like being challenged all the way to now. All of us as a collective facing that pandemic. Here we have at the center of your reading, the Seven of Forces, balance. Again, look at this desk here. It looks like that resolute desk in the White House, doesn't it? But the desk here, there's a scale on it. There's decisions that are being made. How fair are they? There's a sense of authority just looking at the desk, right? The decisions that are being made, how fair are they? Yes, there's all this knowledge. You have all this information. We have all these resources. We know so much in this technology and information age. But are we using all that knowledge for the greater good, to be just and fair to everyone? Look at the way the light is shining. It's almost like there's a fire burning out of that window, about to burst open that window. The way that light is shining so hard, the sun is shining so hard. It's almost like the sun is coming through. The light is coming through. We can no longer put our heads down and not pay attention, whether it's just in our own personal life, but at the very same time, in as a collective, because we understand how personal all things after all, right? Your decision to not wash your hands, to not follow the rules, can very much so put someone else that I don't know, I haven't even met yet, in jeopardy. So perhaps someone that I'm going to just going to the store to pick up some groceries for the kid, and then because of your decisions, you got them, affected, and here I am talking to them, crossing path with them for whatever reason, just saying hello, and they're speed following me, whatever. You guys get the clue, and then here I am. I'm affected too. So we're all in this together, okay? Especially those of you that are in a position of power, that are in a position of authority. I feel like you're gonna be pushed to be a little bit more fair, to be a little more just, to keep things balanced between those two worlds, to bridge the gap a little bit, okay? And here we have Six of Roses, the War of the Roses, the War of the Roses, the camp here, and again we have those two camps, right? One to the left, one to the right. There's a war. And yes, I've heard people talking about it, how it's so funny because the first person who mentioned that was my mother, and she is a Sagittarius indeed, and she was saying like it feels like we are living in wartime. And I was reading online how people, like certain governors are taking the lead here in the States, in the United States, for those of you that are in the United States, and that they're asking for help from industries, help from the manufacturing sectors, in order to provide the tools that are necessary, the equipment and materials that are necessary in order to help the hospitals to fight this pandemic, okay, this virus. And it's like that. Yes, that sounds very much like everyone needs to gel together. Everyone needs to bring their expertise. Everyone needs to help out, to lend a hand. Yes, it does feel like it's wartime. So the War of the Roses is about like choose your side. There's a war here. There's two camps. You cannot be in between. Choose a side. A side. You have to choose a side. Two of Swords. Choose a side. Decision. Okay? And for those of you that have been trying to rise above it all, that have been trying to use your knowledge base, your wisdom, your expertise to do something that's going to benefit everyone, that's going to benefit the greater good, for the greater good, that's gonna benefit the public. I feel like you're going to finally come to a point where you're gonna realize like you have to make a choice, you have to choose a side, okay? You have to just choose a side. And what you realize on the other end of that, Sagittarius, is by bridging that gap, by choosing to be a source of light and goodness and goodwill in the world, you get everything that you wanted to. It doesn't take anything away from you. All it does is enrich your life even more. Who knows? All this produce, all these groceries, maybe your neighbors dropping them in, right? You're not even in the room. You don't even show up in that room. Maybe you're outside saying hello to your neighbor. Perhaps you're outside or in the other room playing with your kids. No good deed that's done goes unrewarded, and not because we're doing things in order to get reward, especially when we're doing something that is just and fair. But just like, when you do poorly, it's about energy. We attract more negativity into our life. It's the same way too. Your good deeds, they're gonna bring in more good deeds towards you, okay? More rewards towards you, more goodwill towards you. Let's get some clarification here about the Two of Swords for you, Sagittarius. Clarification on the Two of Swords for Sagittarius. And I hope you guys are receiving these messages with good spirit, from a good place. Yes, I know the fear is easy because there's so much uncertainty and confusion. Anxiety is real. I myself had to ground myself, took a couple of days to prepare, do what I have to do. Because yes, I trust, I believe in, but I also use logic, based on what I know, to prepare for, you know, what may come, and to ground myself, to remove myself from the overthinking, the oh my gosh, you know, to release all the anxiety. So we have two of schools. The choice have to be made. There's a partnership here. There is a sense of a gathering here. There's a party here, like people are celebrating, okay? And we have the page of Pentacles. We have the Judgment card. And yesterday was 320, Judgment Day. It felt like truly spring season has come. So for a lot of for some of you Sagittarius, when that judgment comes, when that decision is made, it's going to feel like spring because you've done what you're supposed to do. You shared. Look at the way that pentacle, it's almost like that pentacle is being offered, right, to that little man here. It's being offered. So you shared. You've done what you're supposed to do. You played your role, and here comes the victory. You understand? By making the right choice, by bridging the gap, by understanding like your public and personal, like there's not so much of a big difference, okay? You will be celebrated for it. You'll be for recognized for it, and you'll be victorious because of it. Your wish is fulfilled. This is what's facing this world reading. Because some of you here are in a position of power. Seven of Forces. You can force change. You're in a position to force change in something that will bring balance into the world. Balance to a situation, even if it's within your own community, your own family, okay? This is on Six of Roses, fast-moving energy. There you go. This is Mercury in Sagittarius. Communication is needed. Travel may be needed, okay? And this is an archery here, like trying to hit a target. So for those of you, once you make that choice, once you choose your camp, you're gonna be very fast about it, because that Eight of Wands is a very fast moving energy. So you're gonna be very fast about it. You're gonna be communicating it out to the world. Everyone's gonna know where you stand about it. Okay, that's mass communication here, and you'll also be very strategic about how you go about executing that change. You have made the decision. You communicate it. You enforce it, and it's all gonna happen super fast. Okay. We'll take one more on the Six of the Roses for you. Six of Roses for you, Sagittarius. Clarification on Six of Roses. Yeah, and if you've been in conflict, you've been having some inner conflict between your, your public life and your personal life, your home life and your work life, even, especially for those of you that are public figure. You may be a public figure, and then you're going to kind of like, you're going to find peace, okay? That war is gonna come to an end. You're going to find peace. We're not taking those that fall. There's a couple that just fell through here. There we go. Four of Pentacles. So yes, there's a new foundation that will be taking place here, okay? Look at that skeleton here. There's a sense of a fear. This card sometimes is referred to as the miser card, because there's a fear of that someone may come and take away from us what we've worked so hard for, right? And there's a sense here with that skeleton, like the danger is like, but the fear of the impending fear that you're experiencing is a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you're already covered in black. That black is that fear you're feeling, okay? So do not fear. Let go of fear. Once you make that decision, stay in trust and faith that you can hold on. Not only hold on to that foundation. If once you build a solid foundation, you can keep on building on top of it and on top of it and on top of it, okay? To multiply it, to even kind of like, increase your rewards, if you will. So have no fear, Sagittarius. Communicate clearly. Let it be known what you've decided. Let it be known what you want, and go about it with confidence. because your wishes have already been fulfilled. There's no need to hold on tight. Okay, you just like if you're starting a business, you have to spend money in order to start a business. You have to expand in order to receive. It's the same way. There's no need to be too tight about it. Just let it go. Release. Believe that you made the right decision for yourself and for everyone involved. And at the bottom here, we have the Three of Pentacles. Okay, this is a career reading, right? And here it is, we're seeing it. So if you are the boss, Sagittarius, if you are a manager or someone who's in a position to make decisions about, especially now, a lot of people are going to be facing layoffs. I work for the airlines. That's a very big possibility, even for me. So if you're someone who's in a position to make decisions about other people's livelihood per se, and you are in deep contemplation about it as to which way to go, what am I going to do, just know that I feel like you're really gonna take an approach, a very sober approach about it. You're not gonna approach it from ego. You're gonna do the right thing at the end of the day. Okay, you're gonna be the right thing, and whatever decision it's almost like there's a karmic sense to it, because with the Judgment card, it's also karma. Okay, it's a sense of like it's a day of judgment. There are people, those that deserve to receive rewards, those that have done right, those that have been in the right, those that have done the job, right, or they will be rewarded. And those that kind of like, because of their deeds in the past that were not towards a positive, they may have to atone for those mistakes. They may have to pay for those mistakes. These mistakes are gonna catch up with them, because now they have to face judgment, if you will, right? So whatever decision that needs to be made here, just remain fair about it. Just remain just about it. Ask for help, for guidance from spirit, and you will get to the right outcome. You will get to the right judgment, the right decision here at the end of it. Okay, and have no fear. We don't control everything. To release. Now, don't be afraid that everything's gonna be taken away from you. Nothing is gonna be lost. Whatever it is, whatever loss you might incur during this time, whatever setback, not even loss, setback that may happen, you will be able to recover it. Okay, especially for those of you that invest in the market, that may be looking at your statements and going like, oh my goodness, what's going on in the world. Just know there are people that are way less fortunate, and believe that just like you were able to just like you're able to build that little fortune, it's going to go back. You can, with your skill set, with your resources, with your knowledge base, you're gonna be able to recreate, okay, that level of abundance again. Oh, onto the floor. We're not taking that. This is Madame's Endora and Sagittarius. The whole time I started your reading, I didn't feel distracted, but it's like I was fighting for my words to come out. Like, there's essentially like communication. It's almost like all of a sudden I feel like I started, like I was really fighting for those words to come out. It was very like, it wasn't like a smooth, like it just flows through. It was very strange. So communication for some of you, perhaps it's because you're feeling a sense of the weight of the responsibility of the decision that needs to be made. For some of you, maybe tongue-tied almost. You may not know how to express your decisions. You may not know how to express what needs to be done, right? Or we may have to let go of some people. You may really feel the tension and the anxiety about that. Here we have winds of change. Your surroundings will undergo transition. Yes, your surroundings will undergo transition. Some of us are working from home. Some of them maybe have to leave the job. Some of them may have to let go of some people we used to rely on the job. There is a big change happening here, okay? And that change, though, just remember, it's a karmic change. It's something that's going to bring justice and a certain level of balance, and that's gonna bring peace to a situation at the same time. And here we have the king. Wow, the king. And with authority and diplomacy, what I've been saying, authority, there's such a sense of authority. That's why they even get a clarification card for this Seven of Forces for you, because it came on so strong with that light coming through in that desk. It's authority. Some of you are in an authority position here to make certain decision, to come to certain judgment that will affect a lot of people. And yes, you are trying to be the ultimate diplomat about it, even if you have to let go of some people, even if you perhaps even have to leave the job for some of you, even if you have to make a choice between two camp, between two team. There's like some big decisions that needs to be made here, okay? Certain path to bring peace, to bring two groups together, even to merge, you know, departments. There's some diplomacy that will be needed. The way you communicate that information to people, just know that you are being guided. Just know those things are happening right now. It's kind of karmic, okay? It's karmic, not just for you, but for also all those people involved. Sagittarius, don't be too hard on yourself. Just pray on it like you're doing here, like meditate on it, and you know, really give it the thoughtful attention that it needs, and be confident once you make that decision going forward. Okay, thank you so much for your support. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will be doing the live reading hangout tomorrow, which is Sunday. I'll be posting a reminder. I hope you guys stop by, and be patient with yourself, be kind, be loving with yourself and to those that are around you. We will overcome this. Yes, we're going through a transition period here, through a big shift, and there's a lot of things that are not in our control, but at the same time, there are quite a bit that is still in our control, okay? And the way we respond to it is the first thing, right? Perspective. Everything is perspective. I'm sending you a lot of love during this time, Sagittarius. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.